Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Sayyid FAROOQ Hasan and I'm back with a new episode of Sky is the Limit. We all know that Pakistani doctors have made a mark globally. Whether it be APNA, where all the Pakistani doctors have gathered together on one platform and serving the community there. They are known for their skillful handling and their professionalism. Or be it Pakistan, where nowadays you can find a lot of young, bright, dynamic, vibrant faces who have excelled in the field of medicine. I today happen to be with one of such professionals. She is actually an aesthetic physician. She is the only Pakistani aesthetic physician to clear the American board exam of laser surgery. She is also a key opinion leader for Aesthetic Knowledge Institute in Dubai. She's been associated with Khyber Medical University and Health Services Academy, Islamabad. Let's meet Dr. Laila Hasan. Assalamu alaikum, Laila.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you, FAROOQ?
I'm good. Such a lovely office, such a lovely clinic you have.
Thank you so much.
And I've been meeting Dr. Laila socially, and I just decided, when I was reading her profile, such a big achievement, I said, we must share your, contribution to this field of medicine and your success with the whole world. So why not have you as a guest in Sky is the Limit. So Dr. Laila, this is a big honor that you have, that you're the only Pakistani aesthetic physician to have cleared the American board exam of laser surgery.
Yeah.
Nowadays, cosmetic surgery is the in-game globally, and you've excelled at it. And now you are actually replicating it in Pakistan, and you're going to create more aesthetic physicians.
Exactly.
Together, right?
Exactly.
So first of all, tell us something about this honor that you have of being the only Pakistani till now. How did this come across, and what are you doing for it in future?
As being a doctor, MBBS, when I cleared my MBBS, after that, as you know, for girls there is a bit issue when you get married and continue your education further.
Most of the girls give up.
Most of the girls at times give up. So I tried to continue my education. I cleared MBBS. After that, I did my post-graduation MCPS ENT training, which is a surgery-related training. So during that time, I got married. Somehow I had some complications regarding medical issues of pregnancies and later on. So instead of continuing it for very prolonged hour, my doctor asked me to take a bed rest. So during that time, being a doctor who was always on toes, 32 hours, night calls and working non-stop, so I thought, if I have to be on a bed rest, why don't I explore something for further education instead of being on bed for a year or two? Why don't I continue with that? So at that time, being a head and neck surgery related person who was doing MCPS, I searched for exploring other options which could help me to continue my further education without compromising on my health. And then I searched for this American Board of Laser Surgery. I contacted them and asked them if I could be a part for the diplomat examination, and they sent me the whole details how to do it. It's a 2 years proper full-time course, in which for 2 years you would be taking those 100 cases of lasers. You will be conducting different kind of like educational material which they are providing. You'll be working on it, and you have to, after 1 year, have to pass your exam, the written one, and then again for 1 year more you will be attempting different 100 cases, and then you would be coordinating for those cases for your Viva exam. So I cleared both with, mashallah, 90% successful marks.
And you knew at that time that you're the only Pakistani to have done so?
Yes, because few of the doctors have attempted, but they could not clear it. So in the first attempt, it was good, because from 2013 till 2015, I was being in touch for American Board of Laser Surgery. And after clearing it, they offered me that as you are the first Pakistani, we need to give this projection that lasers should be done with safety and with all precautions in Pakistan as well. If they could not attempt, can you help us how to build this image that you could like give a safety and more liaison procedures for them. So at that time, in 2015, I was with them as assistant director for business and education. And I was doing development on the basis of laser surgery. I would train doctors, they would be referred to them, but somehow there was a break because every doctor was not able to do this 2 years course. So during that time, I did my trainings with a KOL as a KOL with the AKI, which is Aesthetic Knowledge Institute. I was also doing trainings in Khyber Medical University as a visiting faculty, being a teaching staff with them. Now we are planning for Health Services Academy. So with that, I again contacted ABLS, done for Pakistani people with a proper proficiency exam conduction.
So they can get the certification?
They can do it, but for that you have to give them hands-on training as well. You will be teaching the theory part as well. So we continued working, and today, Alhamdulillah, in January 2024, I was offered full directorship for American Board of Laser Surgery.
My God, that's
and
amazing.
now we can liaison it with different institutes, different medical universities.
So you will ensure that the
academies.
same standards are met?
Exactly.
And they have that
Because
confidence in
the
you?
course would be conducted from American Board, and we
Okay.
would be teaching the same course over here.
Great.
But instead of 2 years full training, it could be a one-day training for all those doctors who want to give the proficiency exam as well. So they get that certification directly for American Board.
So in addition to you running your clinic, you'll be teaching
Yes.
also. But I must tell you, Dr. Laila is a multitasker. You know, she's a very diligent wife. She's raising up 2 lovely kids, and she's running her own clinic. Now she's going to teach also, and she's into a lot of other things. And she's socially also very well connected. So we need to know the secret, what made Dr. Laila what she is today. So let's start from the beginning. Where were you born? And
I was born in Peshawar.
okay.
I did my matriculation exam from Peshawar Model School.
Okay.
Academically, I was very good, and I achieved first position in my whole school.
Right.
At that
Every
time.
class?
Every class, I have been an achiever.
So you were a bright.
So
and
on-
who was the influence? Who used to teach you at home? Your mother, father?
I never took, somehow I see nowadays students having their
Tuition.
coaching and tuitions. I was always a person who would always
Self-taught.
study by herself, or I would search for some different library and I would get the theoretical material.
There was no Google at that time.
And till grade 8, my father have been a very good role model for me.
Wow. Okay.
So he
So
was there.
what was the motivation? You know, like I understand that's amazing that if you were self-taught and you used to study on your own.
Yeah.
But every kid, needs some kind of motivation. To excel in life, especially in
Yes.
those early days,
Exactly.
to top in every class and to do study on their own, because kids need direction.
I think it depends upon your mind setup as well. I don't know, should I comment on it or not, but being, I don't believe in stars, but I've seen all Capricornians being very ambitious.
Watch
So
out, all
maybe-
Capricornians.
So maybe that ambition and that zeal was already there. And once you are in your school or any institute, you are a topper, so you don't want to lose that position.
I think more of peer pressure.
The peer pressure, plus I was also a very social person, as you said, because I was always there in different games, activity. I have been best player in volleyball. I have been my best player in at school level. We have done badminton and all those stuff, but not just till this. In FSC as well, I was the first girl. My position was third among all FATA students to get FSC on merit, your KMC position for FATA-based people, because we were not even eligible at that time to contest in any exam on open seats.
Okay.
So there were very limited seats for us. And being from FATA area, which is a very, I would say for girls, it was very difficult to appear from there. So I got my third position. I was selected on merit for KMC. And during KMC as well, I have always participated in games as well. I have been given best player for volleyball, baseball. So I was
A very
trying
active
to have
person mentally
this
and
balance
physically.
between education as well as my extracurricular activities.
Very nice, very nice. So, okay, that's great. So, Dr. Laila, how many siblings are you, by the way?
We are total 4 brothers and sisters. We are 2 sisters.
You're the youngest?
I'm the eldest one. Then
Oh.
comes my sister. She is also an electrical engineer. She studied from UET Peshawar.
Okay.
Currently, she is now teaching at UET Punjab at Lahore. She's also doing her own PhD.
UET Lahore, she's teaching.
Ji, yes.
Okay, mashallah.
And
she's doing a
then-
PhD also.
Yes. And then comes my brother. He's living in USA. My mother, she is having dual nationality. She is Pakistani as well as she is a US citizen as well. So half of the time they're there and half of the time
And your
she's
brother
there.
in, what is he doing?
He is also an electrical engineer.
And he's working in
and
US.
He's working in US as a resident. over
And the
there.
fourth
And the
sibling?
fourth sibling, he's our youngest brother, Salman. He's also studying, he studied software engineering from UK. And now he is currently working in Pakistan, in Islamabad. And he's also running his own business, which is related to solar paneling and all that stuff
What
and
a
interior.
brilliant lineup, huh? Everyone is so qualified.
Thank you so
You must
much.
feel so, like at all the times you have to, compete with them.
Exactly.
But setting a role model, I'm sure being the eldest, you would have set the pace for the others to follow, obviously, for that matter. So you were telling me your father had a influence on you also.
Yes,
What
he was
he?
an
What profession?
electrical engineer.
Okay.
And he was in civil engineering. He was conducted and posted at DI Khan.
Okay.
So during his work-related thing, he had to travel, and unfortunately, he had a car accident.
I'm sorry.
So he passed away on spot.
And you were
So
very young
at
at
that time we were in grade 8. I was hardly like 13, 14 year old.
Oh,
So
must be a very big
somehow-
loss and
yes.
at such a young
and
age.
with that, actually you asked me that what was the motivational factor. My mother, I saw her as a housewife all the time, right? But soon after my father's death, she continued her education and she kept on doing some trainings, and she was selected for UN in UNICEF from Pakistan, and she worked there for quite long time, for 13 plus years. So she kept on working and she kept on bringing us all
Okay,
in a
okay.
way that it was a motivation for me that yes, women should be strong enough to
Yes, and
carry on.
Pakistani women have that resilience and that passion to give the best to their children. So during your school days, was it a co-education or was
Yes,
it?
it
Was a
was.
co-education.
Yes.
And being on the top in a co-education school in Peshawar, I'm sure it's a unique feat in itself. Like a girl topping in all the exams with the boys. Like how can she take the first position and all that stuff? Must be difficult. Was it like challenging?
If I had to be in a co-ed system after matriculation, or maybe it would have been an overwhelming thing for me. But since my childhood, like since nursery and preschooling, I've been in co-education. So for me, it was very like normal thing.
But did the boys give you a hard time that, why do you
I
top?
was very shararti bacha.
You're
A naughty-
very naughty kid, is it?
And I have been proctor in my school, a monitor in my school. So I never felt that
In fact, you would have been the one who would be.
bullying them. No, I never wasn't. But yes, in college somehow, maybe after FSC, in FSC I was in pure a ladies institute, which is Jinnah College
Okay.
in Peshawar.
Okay. All
and
girls.
It was for women college.
Okay.
So over that time period, I was totally for 2 years in a women. But then again,
Okay.
when I was in Khabar Medical, it was again a co-ed.
But before that, Dr. Laila, like during your school days, like when you are in grade 6, 7, or even earlier, every kid has a dream, you know, and especially girls in Pakistan, especially in that era, they always want to become a doctor. Engineering is a very rare field for girls. Usually they won't prefer. Or they would want to do something in home economics. You know, they would go to home economics college, learn some.
Yeah.
Medicine was the top choice, you know, for
Right.
all the bright girls. So, had you decided that you want to become a doctor?
No, I always loved home economics.
Okay.
And,
You were an RT person.
Yes, and even after giving my FSC, I topped for the merit list on home economics, Peshawar College. And the principal kept on calling my mother that she's so brilliant, she is the topper for the merit list. You should
Let her do.
join, because I applied in home economics as well. And during that time, as I said, that for FATA, there were some reserved seats on which I can contest. So that exam was conducted later. So by that time, the principal of home economics already was talking to my mother that please, we want her on our.
So, till your matriculation,
college.
you were not sure what you want to do. You
I
were sure
was-
that you want to go into arts.
Yes, I loved arts.
Then why did you take pre-medical in college?
Because when I took also the entry exam, our batch was the first in Khabar Medical University who had this entry exam era,
Process.
जिसमें where you have to like compete again for another exam, which is online exam. So I cleared that as well, and I got directly a call from KMU, Khabar Medical College. Now it's a university. So they called that you have been given the choice. Do you want to come to Peshawar, or you are also on the merit list for King Edward's University?
Okay.
So I said, I have done my education in Peshawar, but I don't want to. So my uncle, who is my mamu, he was at that time head of department surgery, general surgery in PIMS. Then he also was DG Health for Federal. So he called me that, Laila, think once more. You can have your medical education, you can get your technical degree, and later on, okay, if you want to get
Switch.
sidewise or you want to do arts or painting, you can continue with it. For me, it was tough, but and then I said, okay. And then there was that emotional factor as well, that they said that your father always wanted you to be a
become an
doctor.
eldest daughter.
And half of our family are within a medical field.
Okay.
My one maternal uncle and paternal uncle, both are doctors, their kids are all doctors, and then they said, you are on merit, avail it.
But
When
you
I
had the
did-
passion also?
Yes, then because I was always a studious girl, so I said, okay, I'll go for it. I kept on doing all those exams, semesters and whatever, but after my final year exam and when I got married, so I had these issues, as I said, medical issues. So I said, okay, I have gained this technical degree, but I can again merge it with something like aesthetic, which was my passion. So then I looked for this aesthetic field in same medical institute, and that's how I started.
You became an
doing the-
aesthetic physician.
Yes.
At that time. So going back, you after your matriculation, did you get? I'm sure you must have scored very well in your
Yeah.
matriculation examination. After that, which
I
college?
got first position in from my school.
From your school,
Peshawar
okay.
Model, and then my FSC pre-medical
Which
was
college was
from Jinnah College.
Jinnah
For
College.
women.
Okay,
In
and-
Peshawar.
When you decided to take pre-medical after your matriculation, you knew what you were signing into and what you were
Yeah.
getting into, and
Exactly.
you were okay with that. That was letting go of
yes.
arts,
Yes.
and you were
exactly.
okay because you wanted to study and keep your
Yeah.
options open.
They said that keep this technical field with you, and
Okay.
then you can keep on merging it with the.
Okay, and after that, when you passed, got on merit, and then you said you went to this Khyber Medical College, and you did your degree, 5-year degree. After 1 or 2 years, or after reading the Grey's Anatomy, did you ever think that maybe I should have gone for home economics or something like that?
No, I never regretted it later.
Okay.
When you are serving humanity, especially the human body you are dealing with, and I was in Khyber Teaching Hospital for my house job, and then house job I did, sorry, my final,
Exam.
those final
Profs.
year profs, they were interacted with Khyber Teaching Hospital as well. So after that, during my house job in PIMS, I kept on seeing the disease people were carrying, and they were in your wards, and you then really become, after taking that oath of medical college, you want to serve.
Yeah.
And this is something which keeps you so contented that you never regret why you are in this field. Then you connect it with this spirituality as well, that maybe the God have selected you for it.
To serve humanity.
And maybe that's why I went through some health issues at earlier, so I can connect and relate it with the people I'm serving.
With the people you're serving. Great.
So then it's
that's
not
an amazing
like-
way to think actually, and you're absolutely right. You know,
Yeah.
that's a message from divine.
And we give this oath
Divinity.
so that we will be serving humanity, will be
Yes.
safe. Every act of us should be in the safety. That's why, as I said, that when I did ABLS and all these trainings, my main aim was to serve with safety and with ethics. Ethics is very, very important when
Absolutely.
it comes to your field, especially the doctors.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, when you passed out from the medical college, I'm sure every professional, every doctor who passes out has some kind of mind to do speciality in, let's say, neurology or orthopedic. Someone wants to become an orthopedic, someone wants to become a surgeon. Or what was your aim at that time? Because you changed your
Yes,
mindset, you told me.
yes.
What did you want to do?
I was interested in ENT.
ENT,
It
ear,
was
nose and throat.
ear, nose and throat. And I did my extra house job as well, 6 more months. You need to do 3 months in PIMS for a small, minor faculty. So after 3 months, I continued for 6 more months. My supervisor was Wajahat Bangash at that time. He really taught me so very well. And I kept on doing it. And after my house job, he said that, Laila, why don't you start doing MCPS? We are starting it in Pakistan. And
That's a
PIMS.
professional exam
It's
for
a
all the doctors.
postgraduate
Postgrad.
diploma for ENT. It's a 2 years course. So during that, I did my training completely from PIMS, but during that time I got married. So I shifted my registration to Karachi Bakai Medical Institute then.
Okay.
So 1 year I have studied my MCPS training from Bakai, and 1 year was with PIMS.
Okay.
But
And you
then-
were doing the ENT thing,
Yes.
as you told me.
Yes.
Awesome.
So that was also head and neck.
Yes.
That covered my aesthetic
aesthetic
field
thing
for-
also. But what I wanted to actually share with the viewers also is that not always everything happens as you've planned it, even though
Yes.
if everything is going smooth. So you need to be adaptive, and even if you adapt, there's no reason that you can't find success. We have a living example here, Dr. Laila, who switched twice or thrice. She wanted to do home economics, she went into medicine. She wanted to do ENT, she switched to being an aesthetic physician, and she's excelled in whatever she's done. So, everyone can succeed provided you have the determination, willpower, resilience, and the adaptive nature. That's my take from Laila. You said you got married. So is your husband a doctor also?
He is an aeronautical engineer.
Aeronautical engineer.
Yes,
Okay.
which is again a very tough
What a
field.
combination, engineer and doctor, huh?
And he has studied from Risalpur Air Force Academy.
Okay. Okay, very
and,
nice. Very nice. And you've
that's
got
how-
2 lovely kids, mashallah.
Yes.
We're going to talk about them also, but right now we're going to take a short break.
Right.
And viewers, I'm in conversation with Dr. Laila Hasan, a leading aesthetic physician. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sky's the Limit. This is Syed FAROOQ Hassan, and I'm in conversation with Dr. Laila Hasan, who happens to be an aesthetic physician, a leading aesthetic physician. So, Dr. Laila, a change in the actual course or the field that you were pursuing, ENT, and a dream that was probably shattered that you wanted to achieve. How did you feel and how did you pick yourself up? And how did it happen actually?
Before coming to this ENT thing, I would also add on that as I selected this MCPS and I already knew that I'm going to start my own clinic. And for that, I thought I have always been thinking on like planning before implementing it. So during that time, NUST Institute offered a diploma, which was a postgraduate diploma in hospital management. It was before even going for the MCPS training.
Okay.
So it was like I was available at that time. I took that course of diploma. It comes under HEC, NUST. And I also cleared it somehow. I got second position as well in that.
Okay.
And during that time, my supervisor, Dr. Wajahat Bangash, he contacted me that Laila, we have started MCPS in ENT training for the first time in PIMS, and you have been done and have been a good house officer with us. Can you like to join it? And that's how I said, why not? If I have to open up a clinic for myself, I have this qualification for hospital management. I can also manage my own private setup along with doing MCPS. Then I did MCPS, and somehow in that time duration I got married. Then there were, as I said, health issues. So I did not want to quit. So I kept on asking my friends and family how to do something to continue my education without compromise, because for MCPS ENT training you have to be 32 hours on call, and health-wise I could not, because you get emergency calls, you get tracheostomies done, laryngectomies are there on the way, tonsillectomy is like every other emergency or not even an emergency, as a planned surgery, you have to be there. And I could not do it. So then I switched to aesthetic medicine field.
After consulting your superiors? And
yes. And they said that in Pakistan, beside doing this MCPS full exam and then FCPS in dermatology, they don't offer as such aesthetic medicine courses. So the only choice for me was to search for all board certified exams which the board conduct in foreign countries. So as my mother, she was an American citizen as well, so I asked her if I could do it in America then. So there were few institutes. I sorted out which one I needed and then I applied for it, and that's how later I achieved my field.
Okay, and obviously it was a planned change. You had consulted and you wanted to be associated with aesthetics,
yes.
because you had that at the back
yes.
of your mind. One thing in Pakistan I've noticed, and especially over the last decade or so, we have a lot of people, a lot of doctors, practitioners who come into this cosmetic surgery, aesthetic surgery and all that stuff. A lot of procedures go right, but a few of them go wrong also.
Exactly.
And God forbid if some procedure goes wrong, there's a lot of hue and cry, and it can be very detrimental to the patient also.
Yes.
And a lot of noise was made on the ethical standards and the qualification. What are your views on that?
See, when you are a doctor, your first priority, as I said, you take the oath that you will be serving and with safety of the patient, keeping the privacy, the safety, health condition overall. But again, at times, whenever you are doing a treatment or a procedure, there are side effects, there are downtime which are related to that procedure, and you have to tell everything to your patient. You could say that I would do my best, but these things can happen. You don't have to panic if such thing happens. We are just one text away or one phone call away from you. You would call us. We would then try to treat the complications. In case, if the doctor is very young or he or she is not that much well experienced, with the experience as well you gain, so you should have a circle of doctors, a forum or anywhere where you can share a complication with other colleagues, keeping the privacy of patient, and then you should take that guidance. A doctor should never have an ego problem, I would personally say, to just say that I'm the best, I'm not going to ask anyone else. I would say doctors' community and forums are very, very important. For that reason, there are different academies, associations which doctors do join. By the way, I'm also in forum with the American board directly, so I mostly share our knowledge with them on different complications. But in Pakistan, you have to be in connection with other doctors, and it's the best thing to discuss your complications with another doctor. So they will be knowing as well. They will be also getting awareness that such complication can happen. Then they would be prepared as well how to take
react and how
to manage that case specifically.
Okay. One more myth I would like you to clear. You know, most of the people, I'm sure it's a global phenomenon, but in Pakistan I've noticed people who are obese or who are overweight, plump, they want to get thin. And somehow they believe that maybe through exercise or diet and all, it will take a long time, and it's hard obviously for a person who loves food to let go of food, or a person who's not used to working out or physical activity. So they think the most easiest way out is an aesthetic procedure or a surgery, and then you know everything will be all right. Can you kindly clear that myth?
Yes, I'm totally against it. Sorry, it's my field, but I'm totally against it. The reason, if a patient approaches you, as you use the word obese or obesity, you have to rule out first the underlying cause. Is it related to hypothyroidism? Is it related to some other hormonal issue, genetics, your lifestyle as well?
Yes.
If you could not change your lifestyle, which is very simple to, but you have to struggle for it. You should have that zeal, I would say, to change the lifestyle. What if I do a fat loss injection? It will temporarily melt that fat, but if he keeps on eating,
same lifestyle,
so the fat will come back in other abnormal areas. So you have to teach your patient as well.
to change the lifestyle.
To change the lifestyle, and then first to sort out the underlying causes. You should always work in relation to endocrinologist as well, so that they would check them and assess them medically whether it would be suitable for them. And then you have to see other different conditions as well. What if the patient is a heart patient? Would you go for such procedures? No. He is on heparin or warfarin or any low platelet agents. So the blood is already very thin, blood thinners. And you are doing a procedure which is not going to give him help or comfort him or give the results he or she wants. So in aesthetics, the main thing which is important is to give them very practical solutions, not delusional, not fantasies. You cannot say that, FAROOQ, I'm here, in 2 treatments I'm gonna do this wonder to you. I will be miscommunicating or misguiding, or I would not be very honest with you.
Okay.
So I always guide the patient.
All right. And secondly, Dr. Laila, as a leading aesthetic physician, also I would like to clear the fact that a lot of people in the society, especially females, they go for procedures which temporarily seem all right, but can have long-term damaging effects. So are these procedures, obviously medically, yes, you know, a lot of practitioners are doing it, but are they for human health? Are they certified that
See,
they're cleared?
when you are doing aesthetic medicine, there are two, or I would say three fields which are doing basically aesthetic medicine. One is the dermatology field. Dermatology is basically related to skin illnesses.
Yes. Okay.
So they will first treat the skin illness. Once that's treated, then you can opt for aesthetic procedure.
Fair enough.
Right?
I was talking
if
about
a
the
patient
anti-aging.
is here,
Yeah.
anti-aging, rejuvenation.
Yeah.
So you cannot say that the patient is suffering from some drastic condition due to which he is having weight loss, so that is also going to melt the face fat, and the patient is here to kindly replace it with volume fillers or any other procedure. So if there is a medical history, you would say first correct it so that it should not give complications of the
To your procedure.
foreign body procedure which I am going to perform.
Fair enough.
So once they are healthy human beings, then you are eligible to do aesthetic procedure. So that is very important. Second, any aesthetic procedure is always temporary. You have to tell your patient that it has a lifetime, it don't have this lifetime guarantee that you will be here for a filler and for 10 years you are not going to age. So you have to guide them properly that this filler or this so
Will
and
last
so
for 6 months or 1 year.
has a shelf life.
And then after that, it's mandatory, then you'll have to have it
No,
again.
it's not mandatory because you are just not reversing the age after it. So it's up to you. If you want to age without any interventional thing, it's your choice.
So the body does not adapt
aesthetics-
to it. It doesn't get used to it. So once you get a
If
treatment.
I do a treatment which is like collagen activating one, so yes, I can improve your skin texture. I can improve that collagen building capacity of you, but I cannot stop the aging. So I have to
enough.
guide the patient that these temporary procedures can, yes, even if you stop it after an hour, a year or so, you may not look that much older when you stop it,
Fair enough.
but it will keep on building your wrinkles and stuff which is related to aging.
That's where ethical values come
Yes.
in. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. You went to China also.
Yes.
Why did you go to China?
I went there, as I said, that before that I was exploring all that American side examination. I also went to UK for different FACE conferences and other any educational activity I would join. This time I planned for China in a way that few of my friends had some very good Chinese lasers with them, and they said they work good. So we, being a doctor, had this myth that Chinese can never have that kind of accuracy. So I would say that I wanted to explore that market. At that time, it was a Chinese beauty expo going on, and that is a huge expo. It doesn't mean that it's only related to the China different companies. All over the world, people come, they experience the things which are going on in China as well, and that's how I applied for my visa. And we went there, it was in Guangzhou. I was having different sessions with different stall owners for lasers and beauty products which were related to aesthetic medicine. So over there I met that Nubway company, and I was, to my surprise, it was the only, not only, there were many other companies as well, but who was providing very standard laser equipment to their supplier. Because I checked their FDA approvals, I checked for their CE approvals, and they were qualifying for those standards with proper certification. So the problem in Pakistan is that they will order any machine from Alibaba and they don't have the knowledge whether it's FDA approved or a European standard
Whether it's
approved.
allowed or not.
Is it allowed? Is it like safe for a doctor to treat the patient on it? So there comes the technicalities. So I requested them that I'm here in China, so what if we have a training session? Why don't we get training on your machines, and let's have something which we can collaborate for. And there were 3-4 companies who invited me at Beijing, and I was their guest at that time because I had to change my schedule. I was only planning for Gansu. So they invited me that come over for a day or two for our trainings. I went there. The protocol was amazing. The whole staff, 300 people, were holding Pakistani flags, and they were welcoming me at their head office. So then they said, we want a person like you in Pakistan who could train on our lasers, being an authorized trainer for Nubway, China. And that's how we
did a collaboration.
came into collaboration. And over there, the companies who were already getting Nubway machines, they contacted me that can you please work for SkinFlex through our platform for the trainings. I had no hesitation, so I said yes.
Okay.
I usually see that if that is related to my educational background, I usually do give trainings for them. So this was how I sorted it out, and I kept on doing trainings with them. And in February, and again I'm going back, they are giving me further advanced trainings.
Very nice.
In their head office.
Great. Dr. Laila, what are the new latest trends in cosmetic surgery or aesthetic field that you are in globally? Where is the world going?
Aesthetics have been started decades before. The only issue was, as it was new to the people, because see, the body is same. Your collagen building capacity is already there. You should know the gadget which is going to build a collagen. You should know the product which is going to reverse your aging and how to improve it. So initially, when we started doing it, it was only lasers, and few lasers were introduced. Now the market is huge. Every other year, we will buy one machine for 40 lakh, for 80 lakh, for 1 crore, till 2 crore. And the next year you will get a new model of it. So it's basically upgrading your machines. Upgrading in a way that how to make it and inculcate it with the facility that pain would be lesser with the new machines. Initially, pain was very much there. They would not work on pain management. Now every company is also doing this
Working on pain.
Pain management concept. Plus, even the products which we were using were at times very having long-term downtimes, not just the side effect. The downtime means that the procedure is done, there is bruising, swelling, so how to reduce it. So the companies kept on working under R&D, research and development, and they kept on improving those impurities in a product which will give you good result.
Okay.
So always search for your good product which is FDA approved, which is having R&D. It means that research has already been done. Never inject a product without any
having the certification.
registration.
Okay.
So whether it's, as I said, that whether it's a Chinese company or a European brand, if they are having R&D, if they are having FDA approval, if they are having CE approved lasers or the products, you are the person to choose, because the technique and manual power is with the doctor then. How to use it safely.
And a lot of innovation is coming by the day, every day.
Skin boosters are very much in nowadays.
Skin booster.
Everyone is looking for it because it keeps on building your collagen. So instead of going for like a permanent filler is now totally obsolete,
Okay.
they are replacing it with everything which your body would work in coordination with the product to build up the collagen. So you keep on building collagen with skin boosters, there are threads, there are fillers, new technology based device, and then the technology regarding, as you mentioned about obesity, there are a lot of technology which are in laser equipments, which basically helps to build up your muscle with the technology, or it can be building up collagen and reducing fat with RF, with HIFU and other options. So first you need to know the machine, what is the main technology and how it works, and then you select your machine accordingly. I can't say that I only have a laser hair removal machine, so with this I am going to treat
everything.
I am going to even remove the tattoo. I cannot remove a tattoo with a diode laser or any other equipment. So I have to give this awareness to my patient as well. They will come, laser karte, please do our laser. I would say, for what reason? Doctor Sahab, jo acha hai. So this concept is, again, you have to train your patient as well. It's not the training for doctors only. Your responsibility should be educating your patient as well.
Absolutely. So you believe that the next decade or few decades, I think medical science is converging towards cosmetic and laser and aesthetic surgery.
Yes.
That's the in-field?
Very much, because initially it was concept that as I did my ENT, so they would say, as you mentioned, ear, nose and throat, kaan, naak or gale ka doctor. So they would be only confined to ENT. The dermatologist would be only confined to skin layers. Derma is skin specialist. Plastic surgeon would cut the body into layers and go deeper till the muscle level, to the fat level, and then the neurologist as well, as they treat the nerves, so head and neck is all covered. So they all are intermingling now. You cannot say that I am an ENT, I cannot. If you have done your continuous education in it, if you have done proper trainings in it, you now the PMDC and PMC have developed that credentialating pathway, which means that if you want to do a specialty later on after your MBBS and you want to continue in aesthetic, so being an aesthetic physician, you have these credit hours. You have to do 2-hour training in this, 4-hour training in this, 5-hour training in semi-invasive procedures. So that's how they keep on building up points over 1 year time. And if you are eligible, yes, you can do. So it's a huge era for aesthetic medicine, which you can keep on adding on with different faculties together.
Great, great. Dr. Laila, what you just told me, obviously you're so much into trainings and traveling, involves a lot of travel also. Your husband must be traveling all the time also.
He is an aeronautical engineer, so half of the time he is on airplane.
He's in the air. Who looks after the kids and how are they, aren't they feeling neglected?
I think I would not have been doing all this if I did not have this support from my husband. Immediate support is always from your family. There should be a backup system. So we had this mutual understanding because, as I said, that I got married earlier during my MCPS training. So before even committing for the marriage, when he proposed, so I said, can you spend 1/2 day in the emergency ward with me? So you see how much work is there for us and how many stress levels are there. I'm single, but still there are so much stress levels being a doctor,
and he did
responsibility. He spent whole day over there. He was seeing me wrapping up and doing bandages for those bleeding nose, for those RTA cases which are on emergency. And he said, I salute you. How are you doing it? I said, if you want to get married, would you take this pressure that half of the time you would be in another country and I won't be there, and if we have kids, how will we manage? So in that way, as I said, that when I was doing my MCPS, I changed my field in that because I wanted kids a lot. It was my I wanted to have my kids. So then I said, okay, this is a field in which I don't have to do night calls. I can keep on training, but so we have this mutual understanding that if he is going abroad on a mission, or it's always planned one way, by the way. So in that time, I would stay in Pakistan, in Islamabad, and keep on doing my work and looking after the kids.
So you plan it accordingly.
If I am abroad, then he has to be within Islamabad to look after the
Wow.
kids. And mashallah, both kids are so understanding, they are so brilliant, they are so active. Maybe I would say they would grow more than us because they already are in an environment
Yes.
where they see the working people, how
yeah.
we manage things. So they have this managing ability by themselves
Great.
as
That's
well.
amazing. That's amazing management. Dr. Laila, much as I would love to continue this talk, unfortunately we have paucity of time, so I need to wrap up. But before we close the program, I would like you to give a message to our viewers, and especially to all the young girls, or especially young budding doctors, medical professionals who are still in the medical college. What would you like to say?
First of all, it's very, very important to educate your patient. So whenever you are with the patient, you should educate them as well. You should tell them all the details. The consent form should be signed. And then when it comes to the public awareness, it's very, very important to know what you are going to expect, what you want the doctor to do, and don't bring a picture of an actor or actress and say, I want
Want to
do
be like this.
You should retain your individuality. The personality is more important than the looks of certain. And we always say that some kind of asymmetry is always your plus point to keep your individuality. You cannot say, make me symmetrical, make me this.
Yeah.
Yes, we can help you. But that is your personality, and you should groom the personality as well instead of just this. Always guide them, always keep on giving this message in different social magazines. The public,
The
which
normal-
is
yeah, the general public.
General public, they could read it. If they cannot approach every time a doctor for consultation, at least they should know that there are different kind of skin types. Every kind has different product which would be suitable for their skin, whether it's oily, dry or acne prone, and then keep on using things which would going to improve the skin texture, but it should not be a product. I cannot name anyone,
Yes.
but whitening creams, they are filled up with steroids. They are full of steroids and mercury.
Not good for
a month,
skin.
they would say our skin was glowing, and then it's a disaster.
Downhill. Okay.
So you should educate for them as well. Third, for the young budding aesthetic physicians, dermatologists, and all those who are into aesthetics, always keep on doing regular good quality trainings.
Research and
because
training.
the day I would say that I have learned everything, I'm not going to take further trainings, I would be
That's the end of your career.
ended. Yes, that's very important. And educate them. When I'm educating in Khyber Medical University, I am not being paid for it because I gave my services as an honorary faculty. So I'm educated without even charging, but for that post, I give almost like 15 lakh till 20 lakhs for different courses for my education.
To keep yourself abreast of.
Yes.
So basically,
So-
ongoing training, ongoing learning is a must, mandatory thing. Ethical values is mandatory.
Yes.
Getting yourself educated, keeping yourself abreast of all the information before any procedure is mandatory.
Yes.
Those are the 2-3 takeaways, I would say.
Yes,
Dr.
exactly.
Laila, we are really proud of your achievement, and I wish you all the best. You keep on. You mentioned about publications and all. I'm sure you're going to contribute in that field also, keeping the audience, keeping the general public aware of all the developments and positives and negatives of
Exactly.
this field, basically. I wish you all the best. Thank you very
so
much for your time.
Thank you, Farooq.
It was
Thank
a
you
pleasure.
so much.
Viewers, with this, we come to the end of this episode of Sky is the Limit. Inshallah, I will see you in another program with a new guest. Till then, Allah Hafiz.